En die daar is jou soms klein mate, net soos jy daar is, vertel ons hoe jy lekker leer. Show us, teach us, bring it all together. Penny, our friend here at PNA.
PNA. Penny is altyd hard aan die werk. PNA.
Once again, I'm Gloria Bastos and welcome to Show Me How. Today's project incorporates stamping, scrapbooking, beautiful papers and unusual embellishments. My guest Audrey Swart is going to show us how to take plain and ordinary office accessories and turn them into statements of creativity. Audrey, how did you get into scrapbooking? And I see you use it for a diversity of applications.
Yes, Gloria, I've been always into the arts. I've been an art teacher for several years.
Okay.
And I had a little art studio at home.
Mm-hmm.
So this is also part of my job. So I really love doing this. And scrapbooking has evolved into a very diverse art. It is not just the normal paper
For
crafts
albums.
and arts. Yes,
Yes,
now.
because originally it was just about albums and keeping your
And
photographs
paper
in
crafts.
albums.
Yes, that's right. And nowadays, you know, scrapbookers are always looking for a challenge and
Yes.
for something new. And like home decor, you can see with this lamp here and with this
I
frame.
have never seen scrapbooking done on a lampshade before, but it's certainly very unusual.
Yeah, you still use all your tools and all your papers and embellishments, and this is just something different.
Yes.
So home decor, there is a place for home decor. And with all your hobbies like pewter work, beadwork,
Yes.
you can also use that on your pages and your
see.
layouts.
Audrey, I believe we're going to be transforming this boring file into something exquisite.
Absolutely.
How do we get started?
You start by choosing your scrapbooking papers.
Yes.
And I'm going to use the pink paisley paper,
Okay.
and this is the Nature Garden range.
So now, when you say it's a range, can I go into a scrapbooking store and buy 3 or 4 that actually match?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
lovely.
They all coordinate, and you get them in the butterfly wings. You'll see later on the botanical garden, and so they are great.
Lovely. All right. So let's transform our boring
Yes,
file.
absolutely. I've already stuck this down. So first you take your paper and you trace your file onto this.
Okay.
A good tip is to stick double-sided tape on your paper and slightly stick it down to your file so
Okay.
that the paper doesn't move. Yeah. And then you just take it off, you trace, take it off, you cut out, and you stick it down firmly with your double-sided
With any
tape.
craft glue, I suppose.
Yes, or
double-sided?
a strong glue.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's quite heavy, all the embellishments that go with
Yes.
this on there.
Okay, perfect. So once we've created our background,
Yes, the next thing is we take our chalk ink pad
Yes.
and we chalk the sides of this file to give
I
it a
see.
heritage look.
Yes.
And this is a chalk ink pad in
Okay.
Chestnut Rowan. It's a very wet ink pad. It's a fluid ink.
and again available in the craft stores.
Available and in all different colours.
So you're just giving it a little bit of an aged look.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely, to look that part.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
The first step, I'm going to show you how to make this office tag.
Okay.
And I'm going to talk you through the rest because it's all similar, they're all similar techniques. Okay.
All right. And I'm sure that if this doesn't complement your own decor in your office, you can go for any other color, any other
Absolutely.
style. And I
Yes.
suppose you can go as embellished as you want or
Yes.
fairly simple as
Perfect. Like for a baby, you can do in the softer colours,
yes.
and you can do a baby one for photos and memorabilia of the baby.
well.
So,
Lovely.
yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Show us how to make
You
that
start
stamp.
with a white paper and you take your mask. This is the mask technique.
Yes.
You get these masks in various sizes and also in designs.
Okay.
So you stick them down. They are adhesive at the back
All
and they
right.
are repositionable. So you
Okay.
can use them over and over again. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then we take the Adirondack ink pads, and they are a dye-based ink.
Okay.
And we're going to transfer this color onto this white paper.
All right. And wherever we've got the mask, that's going to stay clear.
That's
it's going to stay white.
That's
Okay.
right. Okay. So I'm always working on a craft sheet. It's Teflon based, so
Okay.
you can paint and ink on this.
Lovely. And then just wipe it clean when you're finished.
Absolutely, yeah. And this is the spongy that we're going to use onto this to transfer this onto the paper. You just ink it up like that.
Okay.
And then you start in circles, and you always start on your craft sheet because otherwise you'll get this image if you just
Right,
go down
okay.
onto
Mhm.
that. So you start in circles and you just go like that and
Very
you
clever.
clear that, colour that.
And I suppose you can make it as dark or as light as you want
You
to.
can play around and you can use the colors that you would like. We always start, as I say, from light and we're working to the dark.
So as long as you have complementary colors, you create nice different
that's
shades and
really
different effects.
Absolutely, yes.
Very interesting. Now, there's such a wide variety of stamps out there that if you don't want to go and create something from scratch, if you're not a very accomplished scrapbooker, then you can buy whatever is standard available in the stores.
You can, but this is just to show them that you can use white paper and ordinary office tags to
Yes.
create something nice with your inks.
I just want to move you a little bit forward so that
Okay.
we can pick it all up. There you
Perfect.
go. Okay.
Good.
Now the contrast that you've got there is quite big, because once you remove
Yes.
that, you're going to have a white
You are
background.
going to have a white
There you go.
background.
You said to
So-
me that you can reuse these stamps.
Absolutely.
The
mask.
The mask.
Yes.
Very clever.
And then you're going to spray this with water from the mini mister.
Okay.
And what it's going to do, the ink is going to spread, and this white, you will see what's going to happen there. It's
Oh,
going
I
to bleed
see.
into that.
Yes. So it actually starts running a little bit.
That's it.
Lovely.
And now we're going to use the heat tool
Now, that looks like an ordinary
to
hairdryer.
heat set it. It does look like that, but this heat tool is very concentrated. The heat is concentrated,
Okay.
and it is therefore extremely hot.
Okay. Is that also available in the craft stores?
Also available.
Okay.
So
Well,
now I'm
it's a
going
nice,
to
quick and easy
stamp.
way of drying your work straight away.
Absolutely, even if it's ink, or you can also do embossing with that.
Okay.
And now I'm going to stamp over this.
And it looks like a script that you've
It
got
is
there.
a script
Oh,
one.
lovely. That looks
Yes.
like it's an antique kind of script.
That's what we want to the look that we're going for.
Okay.
We're going to spray again.
To make it
we
run a bit.
Yes, so that the words, and to get that old
Okay.
worn heritage look.
Okay.
And there's your tag. Okay.
Lovely. So we've
Great.
created something similar
We've
to that.
created something similar.
Okay, lovely. Now, if for the other sort of embellishments that you have here, they all available standard off the papers, or?
Yes, you can punch out and pre-cut some of. That's why I used the Botanical Gardens
Okay.
paper, because they're lovely and you can use them as is. You can actually make your own embellishments
Okay.
from that. Like you can see here, the punch outs and then the butterfly.
Okay. So you actually punch with a punch that is in that shape. You take the designs and you punch them
That's
out.
correct.
Okay,
And
lovely.
I've pre-cut the butterfly from that. And then I just want to show you, this is a glossy glazed effect.
Yes.
And to get that, you just use the glossy accents. And you just go over it.
Okay.
And it will give you that raised glossy effect.
And how quickly does that dry?
It dries in about 30 minutes.
Okay. And
Depending on the thickness of your glaze and also the size of your image.
it's almost like a lacquered effect.
Yes,
That's what it looks like.
that's right.
Okay.
And then after 10 minutes, you can slightly bend the wings to create a 3D effect.
yes, yes, yes.
Okay, I'm just going to stick this all together now.
Perfect.
As I said, this was also done in a similar way. I just used a little bit of the glaze on top of that.
Okay.
And the flowers, I've pressed directly onto the ink pad to get like a
deep
darker,
shade.
a deep shade. That's
Lovely.
right. Okay.
So embellishing it now is as we said earlier, really dependent on your own particular taste. Whether you
Absolutely.
want a lot of embellishments or a few embellishments.
Yeah.
But it certainly makes a statement when you put it on your shelf.
It does,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Let's get started. Show me
Okay.
how you're going to achieve a similar look to this.
This is a bit messy.
What are you using? Double-sided tape?
I'm using double-sided tape because this is quite, you see it's 3D layers.
Yes.
And it is quite heavy.
Okay.
So you just stick it down onto that there.
Okay. What is that? A
That
CD?
is a CD.
Yes.
And you also just trace around this, you decide what image you like
Yes.
and you trace it and stick it down.
So really your imagination is the only thing that's going to limit your
Absolutely.
creativity.
That is so true.
You can
yes.
explore with all sorts of, and that looks like an old postage tag that
Yes,
you've covered.
that is, this is the color
Yes.
when you start.
Yes.
And then it's just that, the
pad.
chalk ink pads.
Okay,
Yes.
very clever. And so you'd go on, and when you finish, it's a work of art that you put on your bookshelf in your office, and your filing will have a completely different dimension to
Absolutely.
it. Lovely.
And now I'm taking this off.
Is there any other finishing touch that we need other than putting down our embellishments?
That's all. And you need to always work in layers to get that 3D look.
Yes.
And then you can just add a little bit of ribbon or
Okay.
buttons, depending on for what the file is
Yes,
for.
and I see you've also embellished the back, so it's not just the front that looks pretty, but now that is a much, much simpler look. So if somebody prefers that kind of look how easy it is
Yeah.
to achieve. So this was just your background paper and one punch out,
That's
and
it.
you're done.
Perfect. Yes.
It's amazing. Audrey, how do we achieve this?
You choose your scrapbooking paper
Yes,
for the gift that you want to give, and then you're going to cut it to size.
yes,
You're going to score it at 8 centimeters and again at 12 centimeters
Yes.
using your bone folder.
okay,
And then we are going to embellish. I want to show you how to make the rose.
okay.
Shall
Now,
we get started?
before we move on to that, I just want to show the viewers this because it looks like an ordinary envelope, but it's actually very cleverly done because it opens up to be a gift bag. Now, that is very clever, and I think this is just using an ordinary gift bag that you buy in your stationery store.
That's correct, yes.
Okay,
So
lovely.
you take your gift bag. The only thing is the width of the gift bag must be slightly, must be less than your
The paper, okay.
And it must fit in the middle section.
Okay,
Okay,
perfect.
So I've already pre-cut this, the top,
Yes.
off the top, and then I'm going to stick this down using double-sided tape.
Yes,
Open side facing to the top.
okay. So now you were going to, I interrupted you just now, but you were going to show us how to make the roses. Shall we do that? Go onto the roses and then we'll assemble the whole bag.
Yes.
Okay,
let's do it.
perfect.
We need that punch.
Okay.
And you can punch out the rose from the paper. We are going to
Now,
make
I
a
see
pink
that
rose.
this is what you say you're going to turn into a beautiful rose.
Rose.
Well
That's
done.
correct. So you
Can't
need
wait to see.
three of those punches,
Okay.
flower punches.
These punches come in all different shapes and sizes, am I right?
They do, and that's a good tip to turn it upside down so that you actually can see where you're going to punch.
Okay.
Yes.
So, oh, it just pops out. I was going to
easy.
ask you, how do we get it out of there? Okay. And you say we need 3 of
You
those.
need 3.
Okay, and let's try a third one. There you go.
Good.
All done.
Now I'm going to cut into the first flower,
Mm-hmm.
into the middle, just into the center of that.
Okay.
The second flower, I'm going to cut out the petal, 1 petal.
Yes.
And the third one, I'm going to cut out 2 petals,
Interesting.
like that.
Is that to
Okay.
give us a little bit of body and
That
dimension?
is to get the the different layers of your flower, of your rose.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm going to use glossy accents.
Okay.
This is a glue, and it's also a glossy glaze.
Okay.
So you start with your first flower, the one with the cut, that one.
Is this the same one that gives us that little lacquered effect?
Yes,
This
this is
glue.
just the glue, and the other one is just the glaze.
Okay.
So you just put a little bit of drop on it off. That is it. Also a tip, so that it's always available. Otherwise,
yes.
the glue can get sticky.
It blocks the nozzle.
Yes.
That's right.
And then you just press that to there. You can
Okay.
actually do it.
Oh, that's very clever.
That is easy. You've got your 3 pre-cut ones there.
Okay. Let me just find them. I think these are the ones I've just punched out, but somewhere here.
There they are.
There you go.
So you can do your first one, just
Okay.
a drop there.
So a drop of glue on the first petal and then fold it over.
That's it.
Okay. And that gives us a little bit of the body. Oh, wow. That is much
You have
easier
to-
than I
yes,
thought.
Very easy.
Dries quickly?
Dries quickly, just leave it for like 2 seconds.
Okay.
And then you go. And then the second flower, a little bit of drop there, and then overlapping
That's the one that has 1 petal less.
1 petal less.
Okay. So let me find that one. Here we go. 1 petal less. I'm going to move this out. And it doesn't matter which side you overlap.
No, it doesn't matter at all.
And the glue, does it dry clear?
It dries clear, and
Nice.
it also dries quickly.
Okay. Oh, there you go. You see you've got a smaller
Yes.
inner flower. Very good. Dries
And
almost
then
immediately.
Immediately.
Mhm.
And the last one, a drop again there.
Okay. Let me just put that there. Now the roses, although they looked so complicated, actually are turning out to be much simpler.
Very simple.
So, you know, it's like everything else, all these crafts. If you know the tricks and the tips, it's not as intimidating.
That's correct, yes.
Okay, we've got 3 layers.
Okay, now the next step is to turn your petals facing downwards, and it's easy to use your toothpick,
yes.
and you just roll it down like
Okay.
that.
Outward as such.
Yes.
Okay, I don't think I waited long enough for my petals to dry or my glue
Start
to
with
dry.
the first one.
Okay,
That's
good
it,
idea.
yeah.
All right, so we roll them out to give us a little bit of, to make it more real.
To make it look like a proper rose.
Okay,
So it's actually just quick. It's just one roll.
and we do it with every layer.
Every layer.
You know what, I'm too impatient. That's a problem that I have. I always want everything to be done quick.
It's
So-
also a great idea to use your heat tool to just like quickly set
Yes,
it.
that's clever.
Okay.
And you said earlier, don't use your hairdryer at home. That's
No.
not going to be ideal.
That is definitely not going to work.
Okay.
Yeah. That heat is concentrated from the heat tool, and it won't blow away everything.
Yes.
So now you put your glossy glue in the middle.
In the center,
Yes, in the center, and you're going to put that
the smaller one
smaller
inside.
one inside. A little bit of glue again,
Okay,
and that is the last one.
lovely.
And you just leave it to dry.
Very
and
nice.
Then you take the heart-shaped one.
Those 2 petals that you cut out
That's it.
earlier.
And you're going to roll it
Yes,
all around this toothpick.
okay.
And the last bit, you just open it slightly to that side.
And you're actually creating
That's the
that
inside.
effect there.
You cut that piece off.
All right.
My hands are very dirty from all those inks just
it
now.
is, it's from
because
the
it
ink
is a
pads.
dye ink, yes.
I suppose you could, if you really wanted to, you could use latex gloves or something like that to protect your
You
hands.
can, but I need to feel.
Yes,
I
I'm the
need to
same.
feel the product.
I'm the
So
same.
there you go.
Perfect.
Perfect rose.
All right. Now that we've made our roses, show us how we assemble the actual gift
Okay.
bag.
So you've got that there. We're going to stick our gift bag onto this. I've used double-sided tape.
Okay, we're going to stick it into the middle there.
In the middle
And-
section.
And it does it matter at this stage which way it's facing? It does. It's got to face the
Yes,
shorter
short
bit.
side.
The
yes.
open
That's
side
your 8
faces the short
centimetre
bit.
score, and that's your 12 centimetre
Okay.
score. So now you're going to close that and your short side.
Okay.
like that.
Show me when we open it how it all looks again. See, this is what
Oh,
fascinates me.
I must still glue this. Sorry.
Okay.
You still need to glue this together.
This onto the
Yes.
side. Okay. But it fascinates me that you actually, when you open it, you've got this whole little
Yes.
gift pocket in there, almost like well, it's a gift bag. That's
Gift
basically
bag.
what it is.
It's open,
It's your
yes.
gift bag. Okay. And then to embellish it.
Okay, now you make your band.
Yes.
I've already pre-cut this.
Okay. While you carry on that one, I'm
Okay.
going to move on to mine because I'm watching, so busy watching that I'm not actually getting on with the job.
Okay, we will do that now. I just want to show you with this chalk inks.
Yes.
You take your bird cage and you are just going to brown it
Now
with this.
that bird cage you said to me earlier, it was laser cut.
That is laser cut, yes.
I see that they're using laser in a big way for all sorts of embellishments, whether they're paper
Absolutely,
or wood
yes.
or anything
Leather,
like that.
Glass. Yeah, it is just endless what you
Okay.
can do with that.
Perfect. So the band, what are you going to use to keep the band in
I'm going
place?
to use Velcro.
Okay, that's
So
clever.
what you do is you just decide where you want that to go,
Yes.
and you're going to staple it.
Here you
Thank
go.
you so much, because this is stronger than any glue would be.
Okay. And that just keeps your envelope together.
That's true.
Keeps it nice and shut. And then if I look at the original one that you had here, there's very little work. And again, it depends on your taste. You can either go really over the top with embellishments, or you can keep it quite simple. Because
Yes.
even that look is quite nice. It's sort of
Yeah.
very clean and very
That's
contemporary.
absolutely up to you. And this is also great for like a baby shower.
Yes.
It's a boy, it's a girl, and you can do it in pinks and blues,
Lovely.
and you can put a pair of booties inside.
Okay.
So yes.
And I see in this case you've stuck the roses onto the actual band.
Band.
And you've elaborated a little bit more with the cage, but again, whatever appeals to you, that's what
That's
you're
it,
going to
yes.
use. And in this case, I saw earlier, because I peeped, that you had a lovely surprise inside.
That's just for you.
Thank you, and I've got a sweet tooth, so that's really lovely. This is so interesting. I had no idea when we started off that it was this simple, but I love the way that you've taken an ordinary gift bag and turned it into something that is personalized.
Yes, you can go bigger. I mean, you get these, and you can just measure that, the size, and then you can
measure the size of your gift bag and cut your paper accordingly. Perfect. Yes. Thank you so much, Audrey.
Show Me How was proudly coloured by PNA, suppliers of stationery, books, arts and crafts. PNA, colour your world. Products available in-store at PNA. Visit www.pna.co.za for further information. PNA.